Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, it is Follow-Up Friday. Follow-Up Friday. Hey. Check this out. I got correspondence. Remember, yesterday, we were talking about the HUD contract. You got to give measurements of the dumpsters. You got to give photographs. You got to give receipts. So I asked Craig Karnes, does HUD reimburse? What's going on here? Are you guys really asking for receipts? And he explained it. I'm going to put his entire statement in the description, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you this. If you're on a HUD contract and you are having to submit dump receipts, HUD has reimbursed over 10 cubic yards since the induction of the 3.6 M&M FSM contract awards. And currently they are doing so on 3.8 and 310. They are reimbursing the FSM contractor for dump fees, which should be going to you, not them. They're keeping them. I guarantee you. I've asked everybody, do you get reimbursed when you submit your dump receipts? And they say no. That means this is coming from description. Look in the description. You're going to love it. It's from Craig Karnes himself. He also said something about in this particular requirement, there was something about 80 cubic yards. Over that, we'll get it approved. I also can't say anything about the 80-yard requirement as it's not in our contract. That's a made-up requirement. That's a made-up thing by whoever that put that out. This is why, Mr. Karnes, I'm going to send you this link here too. This is why I say that HUD office in Reno, that HUD office in Vegas, and that HUD office in Boise for the 4S section, they need to get busy and hire locally. They need to stop everything in the middle. They're taking money from us out of our pockets, ladies and gentlemen. They're taking money out of your pocket if you're on a HUD contract. Think about it. Think about it. Yesterday, I forgot because our time crunch. Remember, we got time crunch. I got connectivity issues with the internet right now. They're working it out. Question of the week. How long does an ex-felon, how long is an ex-felon obligated to say he's an ex-felon? And the question came about from Charles Turley. He's up in Spokane, I believe it was. Either Spokane or Seattle. He was out of Washington. A West Coast question this week. How about that? Hey, getting a little notoriety. Never know. But his question was this, and it was premised on the background check issue in the industry right now, but it was premised on the fact that background checks normally go back 7 to 10 years, depending on what they're doing. And he said, hey, if it's 20 years, do you still have to? Are you still obligated? Are you still obligated to report this? That's a tough dichotomy, okay? I'm going to tell you, many of you know that have been following me for a while. You know I've been a guest of a governor. I have that issue to deal with, and I'm thinking maybe that's why Charles asked. I don't know. Maybe I can shine some light on this. And this is my thoughts. Number one, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember nothing. That's very important. Number two, my experience in informing, you have to find the right way to do it, which is something you feel you'll feel it in the interview. But I have never lied about it. I've never said no. I've left the question blank sometimes on applications. Have you ever been arrested? I've left it blank. I've just ignored it. But I have not ever said no. That's important. Never deny it. Ignore the question. If it comes up in conversation, oh, I'm sorry, I just missed it. I overlooked it. But yeah, I kind of stubbed my toe a while back, and explain what happened. If you're going to discuss that, don't come off, oh, I was set up. Oh, I was framed. I was this. I was that. That's not the right way to go. Be sincere about what you're saying. Tell the truth. If he wants to, if you're not comfortable talking about it, say, hey, it was an ugly thing. I put it behind me. I'd rather move forward. However you want to, do that. But employers appreciate the honesty. They appreciate candor. And hey, you never know when you're going to be sitting in front of a guy and he has a weird thought about ex-felon. Oh my God, I can't have ex-felons working for me. That'll give me a bad name. No, 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 no. Well, the reality is this. As an employer, if you hire an ex-felon within like 3 years after they're out of prison or something like that, there's like a $2,500 tax credit you get. That's number one. If you provide training, like a training course for them, you can get reimbursed for that also, whatever costs are affiliated with that. But the chance that if you're an ex-felon coming out and you're sitting in a desk across from a guy and he's got weird attitudes about ex-felons, because if you're an ex-felon, you know people got those blinders on. You know it, and you deal with it every day. But you might just get a guy that has a weird attitude, and because of your candor, because of your honesty, he puts you to work, and he comes away with a different thought. And this is my experience with ex-felons. 9 times out of 10, if they can come out and make a fair wage, $20 an hour, 15 to 20, $30. I'll give you an example. Guy gets out of prison. He's sent to me through the unemployment department. They vetted him a little bit. We get doing stuff. I'm taking him out on a route with me. I'm training him. I'm paying him a $10 commission per service that we're doing that day. After about an hour, we'd already hit 4. They were on the same street. We hit 4 houses. We had completed 4 things. And he goes, I just made like $40. I go, yeah, well, why? He goes, well, we've only been at this an hour. How long are we working today? This is good money. I've never made money like this, honestly. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I've always sold drugs. I've always burglarized. I've always done cars. I've never really had this is like the first legitimate job I ever had. This guy went on to get his own business license and go into business for himself and turn his whole life around. I can feel good about that. I can do this. I can do whatever I want. But the reality is somebody was given an opportunity that he was never given before, because he'd been in jail 4 or 5 times, he's telling me. He had never been given that opportunity before. He was given an opportunity. He made the best of it. He turned his life around. And maybe you as an ex-felon could be that person to turn an employer's train of thought around. I've always believed that they come out of the community. 90% of people that are arrested commit a crime in the community they live in. They come out of that community. They're going back to that community when they get out. It has to be addressed sooner or later. So again, it's a tough dichotomy for the individual sitting at a desk in an interview because you want the job. You don't want people to think bad about you. But my recommendation is honesty is always the best policy in that circumstance. And you will find that guy across the desk, whether he hires you or not, he will have respect for you. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here for the day. Let's have a great day. Let's all be safe out there. It's time to go feed the critters. Got to go feed the critters. Maybe I'll get a picture or two down there today. We don't know. Let's have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all be safe out there. Oh, yeah. Charles, Turley, thanks for the question. You got a question? Shoot me an email. Alladay, LLC @gmail.com, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Be good. Have a good weekend.